So when S3 compares the information from S1, S3 now sees that the bid form from S1 is lower than its stored root bridge information, which is currently showing that S2 is root bridge. S3 will change the root ID to information received from S1. When S9 compares the information from S1, S2 now sees the bid from S1 is lower than its own bid. So the S2 will now update its own information showing S1 as a root bridge. Always remember that thereafter root bridge has been determined. The other port roles can be determined because those roles are determined by total path cost back to root bridge. So when you say extended system ID, this priority is all set to the default. Lowest MAC address is the determining factor in lowest BID. The priority value can be modified to influence root bridge elections. Remember, lowest bit becomes the root. So, types of spanning tree protocols. As the 8021D, this is the original STP standard. CST is one spanning tree instance. PVST Plus is a Cisco update to S021D. 1D, so each villain has its own spanning tree instance. And 0 to 1D 2004, it updates the bridging in STP standard. As 0 to 1W RSTP, it improves convergence from adding new roles to the ports and enhancing BPDU exchange. Rapid PVST, this is a Cisco enhancement of RSTP using PVST in S8021S or MSTP. It is a multiple VLANs. It can have the same spanning tree instance. So when here's the in here in this table STP type, you can see the standard resources needed, conversions, and tree calculations. So resources needed is low, medium, high, very high, or medium or high. Convergence, it talks about slow or fast. And in tree calculation, there are two options, all VLANs and per VLANs, and also per instance. So an overview for PBST. Original A021D defines a common spanning tree. So one spanning tree instance for the switch network, no matter how many VLANs. It also has no load sharing, no one uplink must be blocked for all VLANs, low CPU utilization because only one instance of STP is used or calculated. Cisco PVST Plus, each VLAN has its own spanning tree instance. One port can be blocking from one VLAN and forwarding for another VLAN. It can also load balance, can stress the CPU if a larger number is being used. So here's the port states and PVST operation. You can see if it can receive process BPDUs, can forward data from or receive on an interface, can forward data, frame switch from another interface, and can learn MAC address. So with regards to blocking, listening, learning, forwarding, disable, the answer is yes or no. So here's the table, you can see it. So extended system ID and PVST operation, it ensures each switch has a unique BID for each VLAN. Its example is VLAN 2 priority is 32770 or default value of 32768 plus the VLAN number of 2 equals 32770. It also modify the priority number to influence the root bridge decision process. So there are three reasons to select a particular switch as a root bridge. First, switch is positioned such the most traffic patterns flow toward this particular switch. Next is switch has more processing power. It has better CPU And switch is easier to access and manage remotely. So still overview of rapid PVST. Rapid PVST speeds up STP recalculations and converge quicker. The new the two new port types is alternate port and backup port. Also independent instance of RTSP runs for each VLAN. And Cisco features such as uplink fast and backbone fast are not compatible with switches that runs RTSP. So it is not compatible if it runs RSTP. So RSTP BPDUs used to Type 2 version to BPDUS. Original version was Type 0, version 0. BPDUs are used as a keep alive mechanism, and switch using RSTP can work with and communicate with a switch running the original S0 X8021D version. So edge ports. This has an end device connected, never another switch. Immediately goes to the forwarding state, functions similar to port configured with Cisco port fast, and you can use the spanning tree port fast command to check edge ports. So link types, we have two, point-to-point and shared. When you say shared, a port can have duplex mode connecting a hub to a switch. There's blue and there's green. If it's blue, it's point-to-point, and green if it's shared. Point-to-point is a port in full duplex mode connecting from one switch to another switching or from a device to a switch. So Catalyst 296 for configuration. Here's the features: enable state, spanning tree mode, switch priority, spanning tree port priority configurable on a per interface basis. So the default settings are enabled on VLAN 1 for enabled state, PVST plus, rapid PVST plus and MSTP are disabled. The switch priority is 32768 and the spanning tree port priority is 128. So here's another features you can see. So when it comes to configuring and verifying the bridge ID, two ways to influence the root bridge election process. You can use the spanning tree VLAN X root primary or secondary command. You can also change the priority value by using the spanning tree VLAN X priority X command, and verify the bridge ID and root bridge by using the show spanning tree command.